Hello guys, so today we are diving into something super important, but often it is very confusing, and that is your Robinhood 1099 tax form, right? So don't worry if the tax document make your head spin. I'm going to break it down into very simple and digestible pieces, and if you have not received or you don't know where to access it, I'm gonna cover that. Whether you are trading stocks, crypto, or options in Robinhood, this guide is gonna help you understand exactly what you are looking at. So if you are interested in all that, then stick around, and with that, let's start. Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and the first thing that I'm gonna cover is where exactly you can go and look for the Robinhood 1099 tax form, right? So if you are in your Robinhood platform, you can go to account and then go to tax document that is sorted by year. So the most recent year would be in the top. If you go there, you're gonna see a download PDF link, and that is gonna get you the 1099 tax form, right? So this is the place where you're gonna get that form, right? And the timeline also they have clearly mentioned here that by Feb 1st your all the forms are released, and the IRS, remember the tax filing deadline is April 15, 2025, right? So you have couple of months time, and if you do not understand this form exactly or how to really see whether you owe money to IRS or you're gonna get something back, I'm gonna give you all that detail. Okay guys, so the first thing first, right? They are going to combine the different 1099 form this time in this consolidated 1099 form, right? So as they have mentioned, if you open your report, the first thing they have mentioned is all these things, the event contracts and the section 1256 reporting, and all those things are in consolidated in one form, right? So that's the first thing you should know, that this is a consolidated form they have released for all your trading activities that you have done in Robinhood, right? Except the retirement thing, that is a separate one which I'm gonna cover maybe in my future video. So if you have not subscribed, guys, do subscribe. That video I'm gonna make soon. So on this one, I'm just gonna stick to your stock trading within your individual account, right? Okay, moving on to the document itself, right? So this is the document front page that you're gonna see, and this is just I'm taking a sample, but your would be the numbers would be different. However, the sections are gonna remain exactly same because they have to follow the same format, right? So that's why your section is gonna look exactly same except the numbers that you see here, right? So the first thing is here the account number, and all that's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. So those are the details that you would see here. The next section that you would see is the dividend and distributions, right? So this section covers any dividend activity that you have done in your account. If you have done, like if you own any stocks which pays either monthly or quarterly dividend, that's gonna all show up here, right? So for in this example, as you can see that they are qualified dividend of 4,400, right? So that's gonna show up here. So if you have any dividend income, remember that you have to pay tax on that dividend collection. So that's what you're gonna see here. Now this one is what is just that they have added here. It just shows most of the time you would see nothing here because it's just a miscellaneous section, so you can ignore this section. The next one is the section 1256 contracts, and this is very specific one. You may not see anything for this year because this is very specific for the future contracts, right? And as of the last year, since Robinhood had not announced any future contract, they did announce that they're gonna launch it, and I made a separate video which I'll link down in the description, and I'll put it somewhere here. So you can see that they did announce, but they're gonna actually launch it in the Q1. So it may be anytime soon that they're gonna launch the future contract. contracts. So since they did not have this future contracts, you wouldn't see anything here, right? And they did do one event contract. So if you did that during that election time, they did announce that Trump right, so that election thing, if you did the event contract, you're gonna see that here, right? Other than that, for your normal stock trading, if you have just done the stock trading, you are not gonna see anything here, so you can ignore this section as well. Now the next one, right? So this is the main crux of, I would say, that you should be looking at very closely. And if anything you see is very absurd number, or some number that you see and definitely think is wrong, you should immediately report back to Robinhood, right? So I'm gonna go in detail in this section and spend a little bit more time, because this section is what is gonna tell you exactly how much you made, how much you owe to IRS, right? So let's start with the term, right? So whatever you see here, short and long, that's basically there are the capital gains, right? They're divided in two forms: a short term capital gain and a long term capital gain. What it means is, if you hold a stock for more than a year, that goes in a long term equity capital gain, right? And if you have a stock which you hold for less than a year, that's your short term equity gain, right? So they treat it differently. So all the gain and losses are offset differently. So if you have a short term gain and a short term loss, that's they are calculated together, and then the long term gain and the long term loss are calculated together. If there is a balance, then it gets adjusted. But since they start with the short term gain and short term loss, long term gain and long term loss, and then once there's a balance, they're gonna kind of consolidate it together. So what number you are gonna see here is your cost basis. This is the proceeds, means this much you made, right? The proceeds section is gonna tell you the total how much you made, and the cost basis is gonna tell you how much you invested, right? That's the total. So if you basically if you minus your cost basis from your proceeds, that's gonna tell you your net gain and net losses. That's the last column that you see, right? And this figure is very important, that you see is the grand total, right? Because that figure will tell you how much money you made. If you see a positive number here, like in this case it's a negative 47,000, that means it's a loss of that much amount, right? If you have a positive number here, that means you have to pay taxes on whatever number you see here. That is your capital gain amount, and you have to pay taxes. If you see negative number here, that means you can offset that amount from your regular income. However, there is a cap of only 3,000 is what you can subtract from your regular income. I have a detailed video on how these taxes are calculated, and I'll put that link down in the description. You can go check out there. I have explained this thing in detail. Okay, now the last one is the wash sale column, right? So this is a special one where it's basically, if you buy and sell something within 30 days, let's say you sell some Google stock, right? And you immediately buy back within 30 days either the same stock or some stock which is very similar. So for example, you sold Google and then you bought back QQQ, right? Which is a ETF that tracks the Nasdaq 100, right? So that is very similar in nature to the Google, because Google is part of the Nasdaq and they both basically tracks the tech industry, right? So you are not gonna get away by just selling Google and then buying this QQQ, right? That's gonna come as a wash sale. So IRS would treat it as a wash sale, that you try to kind of gain the system by doing this thing, and they very well know about this. That's why whatever you see here, this is the amount that's they're not gonna claim this loss. If you see a loss here, even though you would see a loss, you won't be able to claim this loss because IRS does not allow that. So that was the main section that I wanted to discuss in this video, and I hope you understand that. If you have any question still, do put your question down in the comment below. Okay, the last thing that I want to cover is the trades, right? So this you will have, if you have done many trades in Robinhood, you will have a lot of pages of those trades, specifically like mentioning you what you sold, what you bought. So this is gonna, I'm just gonna take a quick example of this is one of the trades which are like option trades, right? Which I this is I actually did these trades, and that's how it's gonna show you for you if you have done any options trading. I mostly do the options, and I have made a lot of videos around option. If you're really new, it's a very good instrument. If you're new to that, definitely go check out my channel. You're gonna get a lot of videos, and do subscribe because I'm gonna make a lot of videos around options in future, right? So coming back to this section is gonna tell you exactly at what date, what was the strike price, what was the call option, how much premium that you made, and how much you closed it for, right? So all that detail you're gonna see here. Don't worry if you are new to option, you don't understand these terms, do not worry. There's a lot of videos in my channel, go watch that, you will definitely understand. It's really nice, guys. And if you have done simple stock trading where you bought something and then you sold something, that's gonna be listed here as well, right? So those are gonna simply say what you bought, what you sold. Okay guys, so that was about that form, and this is the very important form that you should use when you file your tax returns. You have to provide this. If you're filing by your own, then you can upload this form to any of the tax software that you use, or if you're filing through an agent, definitely provide this document to the agent. So that was it guys for this video. Before I close, remember this form is what is gets reported to IRS. So it's very important that you take your time to review the numbers, match everything with your record, and do not hesitate to consult a tax professional if you have any doubts around how exactly you should file these taxes, right? Because I'm not a tax professional expert, but I have been doing the tax returns on my own for a long time, and I know how these forms are, what are those numbers are. If you have any questions about the numbers, you can definitely put your question in the comment below and I will answer to that. However, for your unique situations, definitely consult a tax professional. Okay guys, so that was it for this video. I hope you liked it. Do subscribe and hit that like button. I will talk to you in my next video guys. Till then, happy investing. Bye bye.